Okay, so we already did 8 minus 10. I want you to make sure you're looking up here. So this is what I'm seeing, and from those of you at home as well. When you have a problem like number 2, you're doing the 2 columns, you're keeping -4, you're doing plus, but you see the parentheses and you think that that means don't touch it. No, you see the parentheses is just separating the numbers for you. You're still taking the opposite of -12. What's the opposite of -12? +12. So my new equation is -4 plus 12, which would give me what? +8. So same thing with the rest. I'm going to split here. It's going to be 20 plus -32. And what does that give me? Negative what? -12. Good. Then for number 4, same thing with the parentheses. You keep the first number the same. You change your subtraction to addition. And my -13 turns into what? +13. So 12 plus 13, +25. Number 5, you have -42. You change your subtraction to addition, and what happens to your +14? Changes to a -14, which gives me -56. Because remember, negative, you add them together, it makes it bigger. Then you have 6. You have your 15. You change your subtraction to addition. And even your -9 turns into what? +9. So 15 plus 9 gives me 24. So I would make sure you write these down in your notebook. When you write them in your notebook, write them with the columns. Don't write them like, ooh, random numbers underneath one another, because then you won't know what's going on. Thank you, Jesus. Are we good? Can I erase? Or another minute? Another minute?
Yes.
No more minute?
Yeah,
he needs another minute. Oh. Yeah, but if I erase it, I'm going to move the slide. Still a boy? So yes, another minute. It's like an earthquake. I'm going to be busy. Make sure you have submitted. I have several people who didn't click the submit button. Oh, look at you. So your answers will not save. Make sure you click submit. The ghost of forgotten answers. Bye. So adding and subtracting signed decimals. Were you good? Adding and subtracting signed decimals. We did this yesterday. We're going to review today. So I'm going to continue from the screen and we're going to read our criteria for success. So you have it on your paper. Same thing I told people yesterday. If you cannot read what it says on your paper, make sure you rewrite it. For those of you at home, same. If you don't have it somewhere in your notes, make sure you write it down. Best way to make sure you get these right is by following your steps. There are way too many steps for you to remember on your own. So first thing we need to do is, if it's subtraction, change it to addition. Now, does it say change it? Doesn't matter what kind of problem it is? Is that what it says? No. No, it doesn't. It says if it's subtraction. So if my problem is 5 plus negative 3, I don't need to change it because it's addition. I only change it if it's subtraction. Step 2, make sure you line up your decimals. You're lining up the decimals, not the numbers. Step 3, determine if you have a positive or negative answer. Step 4, determine if you add or subtract. Step 5, solve the problem. Step 6, circle your answer. See, look, half those steps are so easy. So let's do number 1. This one, make sure this is your example for the day. Make sure it goes in your notebook. For you, it is in your notebook already. This is the one I glued in there. You have it glued in there. You came after I glued in the notebook. He doesn't. He doesn't. I know he has it. Why would you open and close it? Like, come on. You're gonna do that one. Yeah, dude. That's the one I glued in there. Open it. Roar. Huh? Oh, yeah. Asegúrense de escribir todo esto en su libreta. Esto es su ejemplo del día. Y si no estoy equivocada, creo que mis niños de lunes y... ¿What? Yeah, they have this right now. Lo tienen en su libreta ya, pero si no lo tienen, asegúrense de escribirlo. So let's do step 1. Paso número 1. If I'm subtracting, change to addition. Am I subtracting? Yeah. Yes, I am. So I need to change it to addition. So I'm going to do my little columns. What happens to my first number? Stays the same. What happens to my subtraction? Change it to addition. And what happens to my second number? The opposite, which is negative 8.236. What I'm writing here, you should be writing in your notebook. It's not just staring at me. So this is our new problem. So step 1, check, done. Step 2, make sure to line up the decimals. I'm going to write them over here. So 5.03, 8.236. Okay, I'm going to line up my decimals. Really? You're joking, right? I know that my subscription. We'll end it after that. Okay. Notice how I'm not writing addition, subtraction, or anything like that yet. Okay, so now we have to determine if we're going to have a positive or a negative answer. So I have a positive plus a negative. Is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Why is it going to be negative?
Because of the bottom number is bigger than the positive.
Perfect. So your -8 number is bigger than your positive number. So my answer is going to be negative. I put that little negative sign on the bottom so that I know my answer is negative. Determine if you add or subtract. So I have a positive number and I have a negative number. Am I adding or subtracting?
Adding.
So Randy thinks we're adding. What do you think we're doing?
Subtracting.
Well, he changed his mind. We're subtracting. Make up your mind. Are we adding or subtracting? We're subtracting. Why are we subtracting?
Because we're supposed to give a negative number.
What is it, Jose? Because what? Okay, so if we have a negative and a positive, we're subtracting, right? So that means we're going to subtract. So anytime you have a positive and negative, you subtract. Very importante. I'm subtracting. So before we move on to solving the problem, if I'm subtracting, can I subtract with the smaller number on top? No, I can't. So I might have to rearrange my problem. This doesn't always happen, but it might happen sometimes. So I'm going to rearrange it over here. And now I can solve. Now notice, all these things I'm showing you, all these steps, all these different things that we're going through to do decimals, even as an adult, I think through all these things when I'm working out a problem. I think to myself, do I need to change it? I need to make sure I'm lining up my numbers correctly. Is it going to be a positive or negative answer? Am I adding or subtracting? Because I want to make sure that my answers are correct. I don't want to end up with numbers that are wrong. Okay? So let's see. 6 minus 0. What does that give me? 6.
0.
3 minus 3. 0. 2 minus 0.
2.
Bring down my decimal. 8 minus 5.
3.
3. So my answer is negative 3.206. I would tell you to make sure you write that little piece of information down if you don't already. Okay, let's look at the next one. So we're going to do this one together, and then you're going to do this one alone. So number 5, 3.18 minus 7.92. First step, if it's subtraction, change it. Do I need to change it? Yes, I do. So 3.18, I change to addition. And what happens to my 7.92? To what? To a negative. So negative 7.92, and I ran into our steps, but I know what they are. Second step, line up my decimals. determine if you have a positive or negative answer. Is it going to be positive or negative? Negative. Why is it negative?
Because the signal from -2 is negative.
Good, because your negative number is bigger. Yes, Albin, you're supposed to see my screen. Make sure that if you come in late next time, that you put a little message on there to let me know that you've arrived, because once you get to our team meeting after I've started the lesson, you won't be able to see it unless you tell me, okay? I fixed it. You should be able to see it now. Okay, so we know our answer is going to be negative. Am I adding or subtracting? I'm subtracting. Good. Why am I subtracting?
Because anytime you have a positive or a negative, you have to subtract.
Good. So when you have a positive and negative, you subtract. Can I subtract my numbers lined up like this?
No.
Why not?
You have to flip it around.
You have to flip it over. So I'm just going to do this. Now I can go ahead and subtract. Can I take 8 away from 2? No, I can't. So I'm going to borrow 8, 12. Can I take 8 away from 12? What does that give me? 4. 8 minus 1? 7. Bring down my decimal. 7 minus 3?
4.
4.
2.
And my answer is negative 4.74. I have to remember to go back in later and retake attendance. Okay, so I want you, once you're done writing this down, go ahead and work on number 6. For those of you even here, you're at home, number 5 should be in your notebook. Number 6 goes on the Nearpod. 5 in your notebook, 6 in your Nearpod. So I should not see anybody wasting time and rewriting number 5 in